We should talk about the history, huh? Because we didn't do this, but this is like Shroud ABCs a little bit. Where was the Shroud and when? Okay, so we know it ended up in Turin, but where did it start? In Jerusalem, in the year 33 AD, Jesus, or thereabouts, that Jesus has died and laid in the tomb. According to a legend of Abgar, there's a king in Edessa who hears about Jesus, this miracle worker down south, and because of his leprosy, says, I wish he could come to me. I guess it's Thaddeus Jude who proposes the next best thing, because he goes north with the shroud, and when Abgar venerates this face, he's healed of his leprosy and converted to Christianity. And so there's a pocket of Christians there in Edessa, but that is reversed as soon as Abgar's son takes the throne, reverts to paganism, and starts persecuting the Christians who go into hiding along with the shroud, which is buried in the city walls. And so it's not until there's a flood in 525 that they now need to reconstruct those city walls. And they find the shroud, they rediscover it in 544. Now, granted, at this time, it's not called the Shroud of Turin. It's going to go by other names, obviously. The question is, does it correspond to what today is called the Shroud of Turin? And it seems that that's the case.
What was it called?
Mandilion is one of the names. We have other images, image of Edessa. And so what the historian needs to do is look at these different documents and say, okay, this is what we know about this cloth. Mm-hmm. Does it correspond? Mm-hmm. Could it be the shroud? Are there good reasons to say so? And some will say yes, and some will say no. And there's room for the debate, for sure. That's the controverted history. But it's good to know at least the pegs that people are pointing to. So after 544, it stays until 944 in Edessa. But that's when Romanus I, who's the emperor in Constantinople, wants to bring together all of the relics of Christ's Passion into his house, basically, under his roof. And so there it goes and stays for almost 3 centuries. But in 1204, there's the Fourth Crusade. And so you have crusaders from Europe that basically sack and pillage in Constantinople and take home a little souvenir, the shroud. And so this is what's called the open years between 1204, the Fourth Crusade, and 1354. Where was the shroud? We don't know, but when it does pop up, lo and behold, is in the hands of those who have ties to the Knights Templar. Again, not everybody is on the same page about the Crusaders and their connection with the shroud, but this is one of those theories. And so I think it's what's the guy's name that I like? Is it Jack Marquardt? I'm going to get his name wrong. Maybe you could look this up. But I want to say Marquardt or something like that. It has a book, and you could, I think, enumerate something like 15 or 20, maybe more, theories about what occurred during the missing years, 1204 to 1354. But
so it's, for those at home, just to kind of sum this up, it's not as if we have the shroud being spoken about in the Bible, and then the next time we hear about it is in the 13th century.
Exactly.
It's something that dates back. What's post-biblical? When do we first hear about?
Well, I think the Abgar legend is the earliest.
Which is
roughly. That would date. What's I think pertinent to say is that it's one of the 12 that is moving the shroud. So I don't know when we can date the legend. I'm sure, that's something that people could look up.
The Hidden History of the Shroud of Turin by Jack Marquardt.
Marquardt, yeah, exactly. So
Markwardt.
Right. So I've not actually read his full book. I heard him speak in an international congress one time, and I just thought it was fascinating. Like, this guy, in a matter of few minutes, presented 15 theories of the missing years, and apparently there are more. And I'm open to that. Like, this is what historians do. This is what scientists do. They propose theories, they fish for data, and let the best man win kind of thing, right? So let's put it on the table. Let's get it all out.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you liked, and if you loved, subscribe.